But gentlemen, right off the bat, Pope Francis has passed away. Did you guys hear about this?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I did.
Right after Easter. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
He died officially. He passed away the Monday of Easter because Easter is landed on Monday this year. So
Easter was Sunday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Sunday, right?
no, it was Monday.
Easter
sure
Sunday.
Am I bugging?
Yeah, it was Sunday. It was the
Easter's
420.
always on a Sunday, bro.
I'm looking at this right now. Date of death, Monday, April 21st, 2025, Easter Monday. Are you guys correct or am I reading this incorrectly?
Easter was Sunday, though.
Let me see.
They might have celebrated.
Is it
Easter
time
Sunday.
zone difference? Time zone difference? Easter
No,
in the United States
they
was
would be
Sunday.
ahead of us. They're in Italy.
Oh, so okay, so I guess there's 2 days. So Sunday was Easter Sunday, which was
Okay.
actually Easter,
Okay.
but it says Easter Monday as well. Like there's an Easter Monday.
So we learned something new.
What's going on?
I guess we're both right.
Okay.
Like we're all right.
All right. Now, the Vatican reported that he had passed away at 7:35 a.m. At 9:45 a.m., that's when they made the official announcement. Now, this is following a series of hospitalizations that he actually went through. Back on the 14th of February, he was hospitalized with bronchitis. He was then diagnosed by February 18th of bilateral pneumonia, and he was just recently released from the hospital back on the 23rd of March. So his residence, he passed away at his residence at Casa Santa Marta, which stands for Saint Martha House in Vatican City. The official cause of death that the Vatican stated that he passed away from is because he had a cerebral stroke, went into a coma, and then a subsequent irreversible heart failure. Gentlemen, what do we think on this? What's our take? Like, do you guys know anything about the Pope? At least this most current Pope?
Yeah, Pope Francis.
Well, so what number Pope is this?
That is a great question. He was 88 years old. His real name is actually Jorge Mario Bergoglio.
What?
So when you become Pope, you actually assume a new name. So they actually give you a new name. The same way when you get, what's the confirmation? Confirmation, that's what it is. When you get confirmed inside the Catholic Church, you get to pick an extra name. So I actually got confirmed. My real name, at least in the Catholic Church, is Bryant Pablo Placencio.
Oh, this. Nah, I got
Who chose Pablo? Who chose Pablo?
I did. You get to pick your own name.
Nah, my
And
name.
why you chose Pablo?
Wait, don't you pick?
The fuck? Is that a problem?
Don't you pick a saint though?
That isn't the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cause I think what saint?
No,
I pick like
because why you
Saint
pick
Pedro or
Pablo, though?
something.
Why you pick Pablo?
That's the one I wanted.
It doesn't
You get
have
to pick
anything to
whoever
do
you-
with Kanye or
No.
nothing like that.
Oh,
It didn't have anything to do with that.
I will say this happened around the time that The Life of Pablo did drop.
now wait a ass up.
There is a coincidence there. I will state that.
You think
there
it's a coincidence?
That's just
Yo, that is insane. You don't think that's crazy?
no.
Nah, cause how you peep that? I was not even thinking that.
Bro, as soon as he said it, I was like, nah, no way. Bro, he don't even know what where Pablo come from?
Why are we so fucking into my fucking?
Nah,
You right. I'm gonna let you rock. I'm right.
No, like the real crazy part is that he went out of his way to find a saint named Pablo. Like
Hey man, listen. You know,
what did you even search up, or did you just know there was a Pablo?
well, no. I was like, I picked the name, and then after the fact, I searched to see if there was a saint, and yes, there is a saint that was named Pablo.
So wait, you said after the fact, that's when you found out it was a...
this.
Nah. This is crazy.
I'm bong.
Damn, that's crazy.
He said he picked it and then he found out there was a saint named Pablo.
He could have lied.
Right.
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, gentlemen. But going back to the main subject here, this now precedes what's called the conclave process. Do you guys know what this process is?
Nah, enlighten us.
So this is the process on how we get to a new pope. Do you guys know how this process actually works?
Nah, that's what I want to know. Like, all right, so you go to become a priest, right? Mm-hmm. And then you move up to next levels, correct?
Correct. So
What's the next?
There's different tiers inside of the.
Give me a couple tiers. Does it go to Grand Priest?
No, it does not go to Grand Prix.
So that's just like a made up thing, huh?
Yeah, it does not go to
Anime.
Grand Prix. So you have your priest, you have the archbishops, and then you keep going up. Eventually, the step right underneath Pope. These are like vice presidents, technically, if you want to consider it that way. These are your cardinals. The cardinals are the ones that can be elected good to go up to be popes. Right now, there's 120 cardinals that are eligible to vote. Now, that doesn't mean that there's only 120 cardinals. These are just the ones that are eligible to vote. Normally, how it works is that you're only allowed to vote if you are under 80 years old, but at the cardinal status. So anybody that is a cardinal that is above 80, they can give their input, but they cannot vote officially for the next pope.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, do you guys know about like the politics that actually goes into this? Because there's a lot of politics that people don't realize.
So yeah. So do they vote?
Mm-hmm.
They vote.
Yes. So the voting process.
So it's a popularity contest.
It is a popularity contest. You need a 2/3 majority in order to win. So that means that out of the 120, 80 of them have to vote for you.
So, okay. All right. Gotcha. So how many? Like how long was the Pope for? I think you asked
2013, I believe, is when he became pope, somewhere around there.
So the people who vote in this one, realistically speaking, if the new pope lasts another 20 years, they won't vote again anyway because they'll pass away.
All right, so there's two processes for being a part of the papacy. You can the old pope either has to die or resign. 15 to 20 days after that occurs is when the voting process actually takes place. Yeah. The goal for most people that are voting in this process is to actually elect a pope that is going to think of it almost like politics, like our politics, like either liberal, conservative in that nature. But when it comes to like the church itself, and then their goal is to elect somebody who's going to be in the papacy for as long as possible. So that's how they normally vote.
So okay, so they want someone younger
with experience.
Yeah,
that's kind of their goal.
Okay, but I've seen a couple of the candidates or people who are leading the way. They don't really look that young.
I have their ages, so I know the top contenders.
I say most of them are like 45 to 55. They're not
the leading contenders.
Not the leading contenders?
No, the youngest of the leading contenders, the one that actually like has a chance, we're looking at the age of 67. Damn. That's the 65.
That's the
Cardinal Fredinlio Ambluglio Basunga. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'll be wrong.
So he's leading the way at 67?
No. He's the youngest. He's from Africa.
Okay. And he's leading. Oh, no, he's just the youngest in total.
He's just the youngest out of all of them.
Oh, so there's no like 35, 45.
It is a very long list. Yeah.
I imagine everybody's joining the religion every day. So it's like everybody obviously wants to get to the highest level. Dang, that's crazy. So
right now, something that has occurred online is that you can actually bet on who's going to be the next pope. Gentlemen, right now, Polymark is right now hosting live betting to try to see who is going to win the papacy. Do you guys want to know who's currently in the lead?
Is he Asian?
No, he's not Asian.
Not the Asian.
The second guy is Asian.
Yeah, I seen him. Isn't there one like that lives here in the United States that's being considered?
That lives here in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Nah, I could check. Give me 1 sec. Go ahead.
I heard like maybe Maryland or something like that. I could be wrong though. There's a lot of misinformation that I consume.
All right, so the leading contenders, I'm going to go right through the list. Pietro Parolin, Italy. He's 70 years old. He's right now the leading contender, at least online and both in the Polymart and online itself. That's who they say is going to be the next pope. The next one after that is Luis Antonio Tagle from the Philippines at 67. Peter Arado of Hungary at 72. Matteo Zuppi of Italy at 69. Pierbasada Pizzaballa of Italy at 60. Those are our top contenders right now online. None of them are from the U.S., at least right now, that I can see on the running list.
But no, did you see that video of Pope Francis going through those golden doors? It's like that tomb, and it was like Satan, Lucifer's tomb or something.
I did not see this.
You did not see
It
that?
happened in real life, or is
Yeah, it happened in real life. It happened like a couple months ago.
In real life.
It happened like a couple months ago. They had him in the wheelchair and they pushed him through. And everybody on the internet was saying that how they get a camera on the inside to capture when the doors open if the tomb has never been opened in so long. Do you need to see the video for context?
I need the video for context.
Could you search it up, man?
Somebody bring it up. I
Take a
have
pause.
the
right
notes
here.
on here. Bro said Lucifer's tomb. It's St. Peter's Basilica.
No, bro. I'm telling you.
I was like, Lucifer's tomb? What are you talking about, bro?
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. We're going to cut that shit out, what I said about Lucifer.
It's
Nah.
staying.
No.
That stays.
Cut that shit out.
That stays. But anyway, going back onto the subject of the Pope. So the betting is actually not something new. This is actually something that's been happening since the 1500s. So much so that the actual Pope at the time, back in the 1500s, had to address it and made it illegal for people to bet on who would be the next Pope. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that either. So, but I figured it would be like a great event for like, especially in the
bets on.
1500s. That's like probably the talk of the news, probably like their Super Bowl almost.
Probably.
So they were just betting anything they could have. Sheesh. And it was mostly commoners though back in the day.
For the most part. So the church used to be way more powerful than it is today. Yes. I would agree on that.
Dang.
Now, something that was also noted. So part of the voting process, do you guys know how like the actual voting is? It's actually really intense. So normally how it works is that people break up into factions. So you'll have people that want a certain pope because of how they're going to push certain narratives and stuff like that within the church, and people want certain popes to be the leader. Now, because it's such a tightly knit group, they know a lot about each other. So they know each other's like weaknesses and stuff like that, and they'll like blackmail each other with different information, like who has an affair, who has a weird love child that didn't tell them about, who's the gay one. Like they will literally blackmail each other like that. That is something that happens inside the Vatican.
Jeez. So you really got to be like the purest of the pure
To not get blackmailed,
to not get blackmailed.
Yeah.
Jeez. They moving like that?
They're moving like that. Now, have you guys ever seen how like the voting process actually goes, like at least at the public facing part of it?
No.
So if you ever watched no.
He asked us, no, we don't know the question.
I'm asking questions.
If we ain't know,
Interviewing us, so we talk
process,
about it.
then why would we know that?
I'm asking you guys questions because I learned a lot about like how this shit works today when I was doing a little bit of research on this. So when they're voting, they actually have 2 rounds of voting per day until a pope gets elected. So after those 15 to 20 days is up, they actually will take a piece of paper, it's like a parchment paper, and they add like a special chemical to it, and they have a cloud of smoke that will go up a chimney. If it is black, that means that no pope has been elected, and they have to keep voting for that day. So they do that about twice a day until they get to a pope. Until the smoke does not come out white, that means no pope has been elected.
So they basically keep making you vote to urge you to change your vote so somebody could get elected. Is that why they keep making you vote?
Correct. It's almost to tire you out on purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
So does that play in hand with like the popularity? Like, let's say you and Melly going at it, and Melly's like the more popular one, but I'm voting for you no matter what. And I'll be like, damn, it'd be like day 10, and I'm back in here. I'm be like, yo, I'm gonna just vote for Melly, get this shit over with. Do you think it kind of works like that?
No, I don't think so. Because you have to
So
remember,
if everybody
this is
sticks
the
to their
person-
guns,
This is the
that means
person-
that smoke is never gonna be white because they're gonna keep voting for the same person.
You have to eventually cooperate in order to finish the voting. Sometimes you will have a person that votes one way, and then they figure out that their person's not going to win, so they'll switch their vote in order to try to get somebody who's as close
That's
to
exactly
that person.
what I said.
Yeah.
Isn't that what I just said?
My fault. So yeah, that eventually would happen until they whittle it down to the top contender.
Gotcha.
And that person becomes then the pope.
Do we get like news footage on this? You think they'll show that on TV? They'll probably do.
No. So this is extremely like a secretive society.
Yeah.
So the Cardinals, this is extremely secretive. So the most that you'll see on TV is the daily rounds of voting and the chimney coming out the smoke. You will not see who the Pope is until they announce it at St. Peter's Square at the Vatican City. You will not know. Yeah, it's super secretive. Even the voting process itself. So, like I said, only 180 of them are eligible to vote right now, as of right now, that are Cardinals that are less than 80 years old. Only 120 of them are able to vote. Of that, what will happen is that they actually have very close representatives within the Vatican City who will assist in the voting process, but you won't know who they are. It's extremely secretive.
So
I'm surprised there's not more conspiracies around the fucking Vatican. With the amount of secrecy that they operate with.
so
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Didn't he have a movie like that?
Isn't that
National Treasure.
Oh, brother. Oh, brother.
He's letting you know right there. Wait, is that the movie where it's like this monk is like chasing him and he's like albino or something? Or am I tweaking?
Oh no, that's
That's the movie.
Da Vinci. Da
The
Vinci.
Da Vinci Code.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
National Treasure was also a good movie. I fuck with it.
That was a good movie.
Nicolas Cage, low
Yeah,
key
two of those.
underrated.
Nicolas Cage as an actor?
Yeah,
Yeah, he nice.
low key underrated. I like his performance in Ghost Rider.
He got some good movies.
Ghost Rider
And that was when before superheroes movies were really popping. So
Yeah.
imagine if they do it again. But now I feel like he too old.
Yeah.
Who they
No,
gotta
he's-
get is
I think
Keanu Reeves.
I think he's Spider-Man. He's the Noir.
Oh, Noir, yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
I don't think
Keanu
making
Reeves
a movie.
as like an old Ghost Rider, that'll be tough. Keanu
No,
Reeves.
you know who's rumored? Damn. He's in Blade Runner.
in Blade Runner.
Chris, no, is it? Damn, bruh. He's
can't
in
remember
Blade Runner. He's in Driver. No, he's in Drive. I got you right here.
Jason Statham? Or Statham? What was that name?
Nah.
Or is that... No.
Jason Statham just in fighting movies. Just mad fighting.
It's not but Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
It's Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
Oh, I did hear that too.
Mm-hmm.
You think he'll be a good one though?
I mean, he's a good actor. So I could see it as Johnny. What's his name? Johnny Blaze.
They can give him an attempt.
Yeah.
I mean, there's different versions of like the Ghost Rider.
I like how we go from talking about the Pope to devilish
All right, so
niggas making contracts with the devil, superheroes, type shit. Crazy.
yeah. So I got a question with the Cardinals. Is that like, say for priests? That's like the NBA. That's like the NBA.
Yeah, that's like their NBA. Yeah.
Shit.
Once you become a Cardinal, you're like top of the top.
Damn.
Yeah.
And then the Pope is the ultimate.
Yeah, the Pope is like your
It's
president.
like prestige master.
Yeah.
Nah, that's
Yeah, no, it's a wild thing. And then the thing is that the person that becomes the Pope, you have to remember, they're now in charge of an entire religion. Not a country, a religion. And the religion is the third or second largest in the entire planet.
wait. There's Christianity.
Well, Christianity is up there,
Catholic?
but the Catholic denomination is the largest denomination of the Christians.
Wait, the Catholic. That's what the Pope is.
Yes.
Okay. Word.
Yeah. So it's
Damn. What are you even supposed to do? Like,
What do you mean? In what sense?
what are you even supposed to do? Like, it's already a religion. Like, could you even add, delete?
All right, so this is what I mean. So this is why they divide up into factions. They pretty much break up into three main categories. There are the people that are progressive, then you have the centrist, and then you have your conservatives. So the people that are progressives are like the previous pope that just passed away. So Pope Francis pushed for a lot of different like changes and reform inside of the Catholic Church. So he was like pro LGBTQ and shit like that.
I was just gonna
like,
ask you that.
inclusion and shit like that. So that is something that a lot of the other cardinals and whatnot did not actually support. Even though he's the pope, they gotta have to go with it. So other popes, other priests in the smaller denominations of that church have to go along with it. But that doesn't mean they all actually support it. So a lot of people are actually against that. So you have conservative priests that are actually in the running, trying to change and roll some of that back.
So, for LGBT, Q, RST, well, okay, what is it again? Oh yeah, so say the Pope was pro that, say like while the Pope is running
Okay.
or is, you know what I'm saying? Can they get married in a church?
No, so he was very specific on it. He didn't agree with the marriage portion per se. It was more of just let them be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was more of his stance on it. He wasn't like pushing for them to like get married or anything like that. It was more of the hellfire and all that shit. That shit's not a good way to advocate for the church. That's what he was against. But the conservative cardinals are not in that same boat. They're like, no, that's eternal damnation. It's the end of the fucking world. Yeah. So that's the main difference there.
Okay, we're.
So he's progressive, but not like to the point where it was like, oh yeah, we're just gonna.
I think that's good.
That's fair.
Just yeah.
Yeah.
Cause like, it doesn't really like mix people in. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's not really doing too much. It's just everyone just stay.
Just let them be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why picking the Pope is actually very important, especially when you have this much influence over so many people across the entire planet. Because if you pick the wrong Pope, we could go back in history instead of forward. So the next couple of days may change our future.
But I have
for
a
the next
question.
10 to 20 years.
Like the Pope, he's not like the president. Like he can't just be like, oh, boom, that we're gonna make that law, we're gonna legalize that, we're gonna do this, make that illegal.
He can't make laws.
Yeah, but
per se. So you have to remember the Vatican City is actually like its own, it's a city state inside of Italy. It actually operates separate from the government. So inside of the Vatican City, he has a lot more pull than most people realize.
okay.
What he says inside that city, it goes. But in terms of like world global politics, he doesn't have the power to make like global changes to like governments and stuff like that, but he does have enough pull to where world leaders will meet with him. Sunday before he passed away on that Monday, that Sunday, he actually met with JD Vance that same day.
Oh,
Yeah. And right now, one of the rumors on the internet is that after he met with JD Vance, he was so toxic and impure that shaking his hand is what eventually killed him. He got poison damage. He was taking 1 HP hits until Monday morning.
You're insane.
That's what the internet was saying, bro.
Let's move on to the next topic.
Yeah, probably like 15 left.
Oh, man. All right, gentlemen.
Pope.
But moving on. Gentlemen.
Now I have a question. Like, who do you think is more famous than the Pope in the world?
In terms of religious figures or just famous?
Just famous.
It's got to be like the president. Whoever's president has to, because you have to remember, the U.S. has so much pull and influence globally that everybody knows who the U.S. president is at any given point in time.
Damn.
Yeah. You will end up on a newspaper, on a news channel, in some way, shape,
I don't
or
know
form.
though. You think you go to DR? Ask any like say back then before Donald Trump. You think they would have known like Joe Biden?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah. They know who's president.
Or
Yeah. And that's something
Biden?
And that's something that's like unique in the US culture itself that people just don't know so much about, like our politics. Everywhere else in the world, they're really in depth in terms of like politics and their the politics not just of their country but of other countries. Like we have no interest in knowing who the fuck Prime Minister of England is.
Yeah.
You're gonna name a person ran for politics, but the people in England are affected by us, so they know.
Yeah.
So they know who our president
That's crazy. And they be talking so much shit about us, right? Like, oh, U.S. culture. I do not know your president. I do not know nothing about y'all, but y'all definitely know who's running over here, what we're doing over here.
But it's because we have that much influence, so that gives the public here the ability to not pay attention to the rest of the world.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're like, don't be worried about us. Like, that shit getting me like.
Oh man. All right, gentlemen.